Hello everyone, how are you doing? We will just start in a minute or so. I hope you're all excited about today's masterclass. So today we will mostly talk a bit about various type of high growth tech careers that you can venture into, and I will try to take as many questions as possible because this is an AMA format. So I'll try to solve many of the queries that you have regarding your career. I know many of you might be confused to as to where to start, how to begin, many questions as to whether I'll be able to do it or not, and so on. So we'll try to all answer all of your questions, and but before that we'll try to just give you some context around what are the various tech careers that you can look up to, what are the different types of roles that are there in the market, which field will grow more if we talk about the upcoming year, and all of that, right? So stay till the end. Towards the end we'll discuss a lot of hacks, tips and tricks about some of the common mistakes that people make while venturing into a career and how you can avoid those so that your journey is much more smoother. Okay. Okay, great. So I hope the screen is visible, right? So today we'll talk about four major things, right? One is I'll give you a brief about myself and my tech career journey so that you can draw a few inferences from there. And then I will also talk about a few of the popular tech fields which are going to be, remain popular in the next few years. And during that, I'll also try to touch upon how is Gen AI going to impact all of these kind of jobs, right? Um, and then we'll talk about uh, appropriate roadmaps as to how a entry level person or how a person who has some bit of experience, how should everyone look at these tech fields. And then towards the end we'll share some secrets, tips, tricks to avoid some common mistakes and to give you some direction as to how you should think about building a career in tech, right? So with that, let's begin. So about me, um, as you all know, I'm the co-founder of AlmaBetter, right? So before AlmaBetter, I'll just give you some context about my background. Um, so um, I have pursued my BTech from IIT Kharagpur in 2016, right? So graduated from IIT Kharagpur, and then from there I joined a company which is well known to all of you called Reliance. Here I joined as a statistical modeling engineer. So I had done a bit of my studies during college, and based on that, I got a offer from Reliance straight out of college. So this role, statistical modeling engineer, is more or less talks about how you can build statistical models. So for various accessories and devices that are present in the industry, especially in oil and gas. So if I want to write the industry that this Reliance operates in, it's oil and gas, or you can say petrochemical. right? So this is the industry. And then if I talk about the package, most of you might assume that IITians, get crores of rupees as CTC packages and all of that, right? But I started my career with a 6 LPA package, right? And so this is how I started with, and this you can call this as an MNC. I'm giving you all the context because we'll talk about various industries, roles. So just to give you context, here I'm trying to write the roles, industry, package, or CTC, right? And so on, and whether it is an MNC or a startup, right? So you might have various kind of questions around what are the kind of roles, how does it evolve, various industries that are present, which industry is good for software, which industry is good for data science, and all of that. So we'll touch upon these concepts, and then that's why I'm writing all of these things, so that you have some example reference, right? uh, and then let's move ahead. So this I worked here for around 1.5 years, and then I joined a startup in the field of cyber security, right? Called So it got acquired by a company called Radware. It was initially a startup, but got acquired by Radware. Here I joined as a data scientist. So you can consider this role as more of a data analyst kind of a role. And then industry, this is cyber security. And then this is here I got a package of around 11 LPA. And this is, of course, this was a startup and then it got acquired by an MNC. But when I joined, it was a startup, right? So this is here I stayed for around approximately 1 year. Did some great projects in cybersecurity. Some papers were published out of the work that I did, right? Then I moved to another startup called Blackbuck. Again, so this role was again, uh, it was high paying, although it was called as data scientist, but I started managing teams in this company, right? So this is again, industry is logistics. Here the package was somewhere around 26 LPA, right? And this is again a startup. And then finally, before I started AlmaBetter in the year 2020, just before that, um, I joined. Sunita, are you able to see the screen? And are you able to hear my voice? Okay, great. So, yeah, so, and then finally, before starting up with Alma Better, I got an offer from Geo Health. Again, this was a senior data scientist position, and this is again a healthcare sector, right? Package that was offered was close to 50 LPA, and this you can call it as an MNC, right? Geo. So I wanted to share this thing with you uh, to let you know that how the roles progress with time if you join a high growth career, right? In tech, how the CTCs grow with time, how the roles evolve as you get more and more experience, right? So this I did not join. Okay. So I just want to show you the trajectory that high growth tech careers kind of provide, right? So and one of the key things that you can note from here is that I have been constantly switching industries, and uh, if you are into a tech domain, be it software or be it data science, data analyst or anything, these roles are agnostic of the domains, as in the learnings that you get in the field of tech, right? So the skills that you acquire in the field of tech can be applied to any industry that you go into. So this is quite opposite to some of the other kind of non-tech roles, wherein let's say if you are if you have some experience in the marketing domain of let's say a logistics based company, maybe it will be hard for you to apply those same learnings to a different industry in non-tech roles. But in tech roles, because the skills remain the same, right? uh, Coding and your machine learning, statistics, your JavaScript skills, if you are doing software engineering, front end, back end, since these skills remain the same, right? You can transfer these skills and your learnings to any industry that you go into, right? So this is something that I wanted to share, and this is the example that I wanted to provide, right? Now you might have various questions as to every 1 and 1.5 years you switch the company and you kind of double the package every uh, now and then, right? So how does this happen and what does it take, right? What happens here, right? So that's the main question that you might have, right? So what happens here, right? So these are the things that I will touch upon when we go further in this session, right? So what are the things that you generally need to do even if you are placed in some company in some role? How can you grow your career to a high growth career, high package career, right? And because of course the first job is important, but growth is also important, and that is the topic of today's lecture, right? Wherein we want to talk about what goes into, you know, um building a career in tech and how can you grow in your career, right? Great. So now that you know about me, you can post your questions. I'll try to answer all of that. But let's move on to seeing what are some of the popular fields in the tech domain, right? So the first thing that I want to discuss, where everything around tech kind of starts, even before data, right? Uh, is software, right? As you can see all around you, we have a whole lot of technology around us, right? The apps that you use, in fact the platform that you are attending the class right now, everything is a software, right? So basically today in this particular slide what we want to discuss is what are the different kind of roles in software and what do they essentially do, right? So from an entry level point of view, right? So if you want to start your career in tech and you are, let's say, just starting up and you do not have any background in tech, so you do not come from an engineering background, neither have you coded in your life. So I'll try to keep it very simple as to what these people do, right? In software there are various kind of roles. First that I want to talk about, and this is probably where most of the people start their careers, is front end developer. What does a front end developer do? So they design or they develop the front end of any application that you see, right? So you might have signed up for this event from the AlmaBetter website, right? And then you might have seen a page wherein you provided your details that I want to register for this event and so on. So the page that you see, right, that is the front end part of a product, right? Whenever you use an app, the features that you see is the front end, right? And then comes backend developers. What is backend developer? Backend developer basically connects the front end of a particular product to the various data sources, and they write code to manage the flow, which is uh, you know flow or the features that you use in the front end. There is some code that is written in the back end which helps you manage all of these things. So for example, when you provided your registration details to sign up for this event, all of that data got stored into a software, and for that there is some code that is working in the backend, right? So that is the task of a backend developer. A full stack developer is one who does both front end and back end, right? So either you can go deep uh, in front end, or you can go deep in back end, or else you can learn both and become a full stack developer who knows how to do front end as well as back end, right? So this is all about the three types, right? So front end, back end, and full stack. Then you have some other type of roles as well, like web developer. So web developer is nothing uh, but a full stack developer only, right? But they specialize in building website and web related products which are used on web browsers, right? So for example, laptops, uh, computers. So all the um, applications that you see in these kind of devices, uh, that is basically the role of a web developer. And it's basically similar to a full stack developer, right? Android developer, as the name suggests, so all the Android apps uh, and their development is done by Android developer folks. And this requires some additional set of other skills apart from whatever skills you learn here, right? This will require you to learn some other programming languages which are supported by Android. And that again, comes again under mobile development, right? Similar to web development, we have mobile development, and under mobile development we have Android and iOS developers, right? So these are all the entry level roles that you will generally see in the market, right? Um, for people who do not have any background in tech, people generally start from front end, right? And then they develop more skills and try to learn back end as well, then become full stack developers. So full stack developers or web developers. Some people are more interested in developing apps rather than websites, so then they do some learning on Android development uh, skills and iOS development skills, right? So these are all the entry level roles. So these are all the entry level roles. Now, if you talk about these other two, DevOps engineer and cloud engineer, right? So these are some of the roles which are meant for working professionals who have some bit of experience in the IT domain, right? So either you have worked as, let's say, a system administrator or a network engineer or a QA engineer, if you have done those kind of jobs, and if you have done some kind of front end, back end, full stack, web developer, Android, iOS, those kind of jobs, for at least 1.5 year, then you should think about gaining more skills in these kind of other domains which are DevOps and cloud engineer. So DevOps engineer is no one but they manage the entire software development life cycle, and they try to automate many of these processes, right? And cloud engineer is someone who knows. So today, in today's world, we are not storing all of these data in physical um, hardware based servers, but we kind of develop applications and everything on the cloud, right? And there are many companies which provide these cloud services like AWS, Google cloud platform, and then you have Azure from Microsoft. So if you are managing all of the servers in these kind of platforms, then that is the role of a cloud engineer, right? So these are 1+ years of IT back experience is needed. Okay. So these are all the roles that are there in the software kind of domain. I just wanted to give you a broad overview of what you can do and what you cannot, right? And so once these softwares are in place, right? All of these products that you see around yourself, right? All of this these projects generate a whole lot of data, right? And data in its raw form is of no use. So if let's say a product is developed by a full stack developer, and it, let's say, develops a e-commerce website, like similar to what, let's say, we have in Amazon, then of course people will start purchasing products from that website, and that data will be generated around who purchased what was the price of a product, what is the what are all the products that are listed there, what which user is clicking on which product and buying what product, and so on. So uh, in in that sense, we are generating a whole lot of data nowadays, because everything around us is getting tech enabled, right? So so all of this data, right, is uh, is of no use if you're not able to analyze or clean and make sense out of it for business purposes. So if you're not able to analyze all of that data and derive more insights or predictions from that data, then that data is of no use, right? And hence it is very important that there should be some roles or some professions which which do this job, right? And that is where we come to the next kind of a profession, which is all around data, right? Again, as compared to software jobs, uh, data related jobs generally get paid a bit higher, although entry level jobs kind of um, have the have similar kind of packages. But in general, data has more growth opportunities and is a much more reliable career in the long run, right? I'll talk about why. Okay, so in terms of data, what are the different kind of roles and what do these people do, right? So let's try to um, make sense of that. So data analyst, business analyst, and product analysts, right? So as these names suggest, right, the task that these people do is to uh, collect data, um, process it, process and clean it, and then analyze and visualize those data. After doing all of these things, they try to derive meaningful insights, right? So they collect, process, and clean the data, try to analyze and visualize the data with the use of visualization tools. And once they have done all of this, they derive meaningful business insights for business leaders or product leaders to consume, and based on that they take various business decisions, or some of this work also might include predictions as well, predicting the future, right? So what, based on the past data, can I predict the what will happen in the future, right? So that is the work of a data scientist, right? So based on the data, they kind of try to predict the future, and that also helps in generating much more business value, right? So um, if you look at these roles, data analyst, business analyst, product analyst, and data scientist, right? If you want to draw the differences, of course all these analyst people, right? Data analyst, generic term, right? But business analyst is more around, can you derive meaningful business insights once you analyze the data? Product analyst is nothing but you will be given the data of a particular product, and based on that you will see whether the product is working in the right manner, and how are you, and how do you analyze user behavior of that product, right? So all of these people kind of do more or less the same thing. They collect, process, and clean, analyze and visualize data, and they try to derive meaningful insights, right? Now, data scientist is a bit beyond that, wherein their work is to predict the future, but along with the tasks that data analysts do, they know a lot about other advanced statistical, uh, mathematics and machine learning algorithms, based on which they try to predict. And they can predict some to some extent or to some accuracy what will happen in the future based on the data of the past, right? So this involves a lot of machine learning and statistics, and this role kind of involves a lot of so you will have to learn some bit of Python, which is a programming language. Then you will need to learn data processing and cleaning tools like SQL. Then you'll have to learn some bit of data visualization tools, Excel, Tableau, etc., right? Excel, Tableau, Power BI, etc. Right? And on top of that, if you want to become a data scientist, you need to learn a bit of machine learning and statistics as well, right? So now, if you talk about 2024 and how the trends will look like of the job openings from a entry level point of view, right? So I can say that. So of course, these are entry level roles. So if you want to venture into the data career, this is the starting point, right? Similar to how we had front end developer for software kind of roles. So for data roles, this is the starting point. Generally, you will have to start from here, right? So if you look at 2024, the scenario will look like this, right? Uh, 90% of the roles of the, if you are talking about, let's say, data scientist roles, I'm talking only about, let's say, data scientist roles. So 90% of the jobs will of data scientist will require 1+ year of relevant experience. So this will mean that you should at least have some amount of software experience, or you should have at least data analyst experience. And only very few number of jobs, 10% jobs for data scientists will be for freshers. Okay. So, and of course, from a data analyst point of view, there are a lot many jobs for freshers. So maybe 70% fresher roles you can expect, 30% will be experienced. Okay, so from this data, you can clearly say that from an entry point of view, you should be eyeing more of data analyst kind of roles, right? Rather than, if you are a fresher and you do not have any work experience, you should eye more of data analyst kind of roles rather than data scientist kind of roles, right? So if this part is clear, then we'll go on to discussing some of the other roles. So now there is one more role type, which is called data engineer role. The role of data engineer comes even before. So this also, includes big data, if you might have heard about that keyword, right? So data engineer kind of roles come even before a data analyst job, in the sense that, uh, let's say if this is the so this is how, job roles will look like, right? So if you have this app, right, this is the app, then you of course have someone has built the front end of it, right? That data from this front end goes to your storages, and somewhere it is getting stored, right? So, and there might be some code also being written, right? So all of that is, backend, right? And then this data needs to be then processed and stored and transformed into a different kind of a repository, or storage, which we also call as data lake. So I'm just trying to so data lake, and this processing is done by data engineer. So they build pipelines, data pipelines, for processing, transforming, and storing data. Okay, and then from data lake, we create some visualizations, uh, wherein there is, let's say, a pie chart and some bars showing how the data is getting, so trying to make sense of that data. This task is of a data analyst, right? And then from this data lake, some people might also use it to send it to a machine to make some predictions. So this task is done by these type of codes are written by data scientists. And there is, if you want to automate more, or and want to create some pipelines for sending data directly from backend systems to machines, right? You will require uh, to have to create your own data lakes, especially for machine learning purposes. These kind of jobs are done by machine learning engineers. Okay, then there are some other roles. So this is all around, let's say, traditional data, which is more of, let's say, tables, right? Tabular data. We are talking here a lot about tabular data, wherein you have some uh, age or customer ID, and so on. So for this, you have this kind of a setup. Now, if you have picture data or a video data, right? So if you have image data, or video data, or let's say, um, text data, right? Which are more, so this is called structured data. If you have unstructured data, which is, like this sound and so on, sound or audio, which is unstructured data, then you have you generally use a broader term, which is, let's say, artificial intelligence, right, instead of machine learning. So then you will have similar kind of rules. So the then you will have, let's say, instead of data scientist, you have, let's say, AI researcher. Then instead of machine learning engineers, you might have AI engineers, right? And given basis the uh, type of data that you are using, if you are working on image and video, right, let's say you'll have computer vision engineer. So mostly the work that is going on around autonomous cars, etc. So those are they're the category that we generally uh, put all of those things in, is called computer vision, wherein you are making the computer see some images, videos, and based on that, you want the computer to make some decisions, right? If you are working with text or audio kind of data, right, so then this field is called natural language processing, processing or NLP. This is called CV, right? And here also you might have a NLP engineer kind of a role, right? So I hope you got to know what are the different kind of roles that are there in the um, AI and ML and the data domain, right? And how all of those front end, back end, and everything is connected, right? So you can see that what kind of people sit in what position in the tech life cycle or in the product life cycle of a particular company. I hope this part is clear. Is this part clear, everyone? Okay, great. Now, so now that you understand what are the different kind of rules that exist in the market, can you tell me, um out of, let's say, data analyst roles and, let's say, front end developer roles, okay, which type of jobs will be more in the market? Can you logically tell me from this slide which kind of roles will be more in the market? Anyone? So, since so just know that whichever role is, later in the pipeline, right? Those roles will have more. Those roles will be required lesser in number, right? So, if, let's say, you want to start a company, okay, and you have a product idea that, okay, I want to build this app and all of that, right? I want to build this website, start a business. Whom will you hire first? A front end guy or a data analyst guy? Yeah, of course, right? So if you have to start a company, you'll hire a front end guy. That means that all the startups will definitely need front end people, right? Uh, and these data analysts are definitely there, but their job is to uh, their jobs comes much later as compared to a front end guy, right? Once the front end engineers build the product, start storing the data, the business is functioning, the business is generating revenue and all of that, only then no once that part is done, then you will have that role of a data analyst, or we will hire a data analyst to try to make sense of the data. What kind of data I'm generating, what are people purchasing, can I improve some of these business metrics by making some changes. So data analyst jobs comes much later as compared to front end guy. So today I am trying to demystify some of the myths that you will see in the industry, right? So if you go to any educational institute, skilling institute, right, they will try to portray that a whole lot of jobs are there in data analyst, which are there, of course, right? But trying to give you a sense of what are the packages that you can expect and how many jobs are there. So just know that since data analyst and data scientist roles come much later in this entire life cycle of a product, these roles are much more higher paid, right, as compared to front end and software development folks, and this will remain so in the future as well. So as compared to software roles, data-based roles will be paid much more because they are required less in number, but you need very smart folks, very skilled folks in those kind of roles, right? So always you have to understand that front end jobs are there, and they are in much larger number as compared to data analyst jobs. But in the long run, if you are thinking of a high growth career, data analysts, a data scientist, and this path, if you take, this will give you a much quicker return in terms of growth as compared to, let's say, software jobs. This is not to say that software jobs do not have that kind of a package. They also have it, but data science in today's world will give you much higher growth. The initial salaries might be the same for a fresher, for a entry level person. Maybe you'll get somewhere around 5 to, let's say, 8 million, right? But sorry, 5 to 8 LPA. But in general, you will have much more job vacancies for front end roles, right? But your career will be much more high growth if you go into database roles. I hope this part is very clear to everyone. Yeah. So again, so this is a great question that I was going to answer. So as AI is influencing job markets, out of both the profiles, data related and developer or software related, which kind of roles will have much more impact? So this answer I want to get from you, right? From the understanding that you have got over here, right? What do you think, which kind of roles will be impacted by developments such as chat gpt, etc., that are coming up? Mind you, chat gpt can do certain things better than certain other things. So for example, it has started writing code, right? And it can, if you wanted to develop a small application, uh, the front end back end code can be written by ChatGPT. Although, of course, that will not be production grade, that cannot be used directly for business. You will need some people to collate all of that and take help of ChatGPT to write code. But given that ChatGPT has some extraordinary capabilities, and that AI is taking over, which kind of roles do you think will exist in the long run, or which kind of roles will you know be lower in the long run? Can you tell? Database roles or um, software based roles? Which kind of roles will be impacted? Okay, so yeah, so software roles will be much more impacted. The reason behind that is, you know, the software will be the chat gpt and these kind of technologies are already coming up, and you might have heard about github copilot, right, wherein it is able to help and assist people in writing some piece, chunks of code, right? So if you write some part of the code, github copilot can complete the code for you if you give it enough context, right? So this has led to much more productivity amongst engineers. So now one engine, if a job took three software engineers to do one project, maybe that can be now done by two engineers, because we are saving a lot of time by using things like GitHub Copilot, right? Now, whereas if you look at um, these kind of roles like data analyst, data scientist, and computer vision, NLP engineer, and so on, this field, this data field, right? Of course, that same impact, similar kind of impact might be seen in data analyst jobs, but data analyst jobs are much more tougher in the sense that it needs much more business context, a person to have multidisciplinary skills. So you need coding skills plus mathematical skills plus business domain related skills to become a proper data scientist. So if ChatGPT is to induce productivity in these roles, it can do to the extent of the coding part, right? But giving it the business context and uh, asking it to give you insightful results from there, uh, that also ChatGPT is able to do, but not to the extent that it will enhance super productivity amongst data analysts, right? So these roles will still be there, and you have to understand that if I go deeper into the database roles like AI engineer, AI researchers, these are the so computer vision engineer, NLP engineer. This is the future, right? So these roles are the future. These are the guys who are developing Chat GPT, right? NLP engineers, because they are working on text data, audio data, right? So ultimately, even from here, so these roles are much more safer. Data scientist, these roles are in fact, these are the roles which are eating up the other jobs, right? And if you want to take up examples of non-tech roles, right? Non-tech roles are in much more vulnerable to extinction. If you just leave aside, let's say, sales jobs which require people-to-people interaction, if you just leave aside that domain, there are many other domains which are getting impacted because of NLP, because of computer chat GPT, etc., right? So for example, now uh, uh, lawyers jobs will be cut down in a much more uh, grave fashion. Then you'll have um uh, even doctors jobs are in question now that we are progressing at such a higher pace, right? Although human lives are in at stake, but definitely it is helping a lot of doctors do their job in a much more efficient manner, right? So similarly for lawyers, etc. So content writing and others, right? So these kind of jobs are definitely getting impacted. But if you talk in terms of tech, right, if you are in this zone, right, you are basically the, so if there is a lion and there is a deer, if you are doing these kind of roles, you are basically the lion in the world, right? If you're doing these kind of jobs, so this is more around autonomous driving, there's more around building chat gpt, translators, Alexa, etc., right? So I hope this part is clear. So, impact of Gen AI on these roles. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that as a person, should I fear all of these new technologies, or should I embrace it, right? So let's say if you are a front end engineer today, should you fear that AI will take up my job and you should, just quit your job? No, right? What you should do is upskill with the latest technologies, right? So let's say there is a front end developer who is you know uh, using AI to deliver more output, right? He's writing more code with the help of ChatGPT. He knows how to use ChatGPT in a best possible manner, right? Then that guy will be much more preferred because all the jobs will not go away. It's just that the number of jobs will decrease, let's say in front end, because if instead of 10 front end people, I now need only 8 people. Okay. So, of course, let's say that number will decrease, but out of 10, only 8 will be there. So, then who are the two people who will go away? These two people will be the ones who are poor at their job, who are not able to use ChatGPT and other things to be much more productive in their existing jobs, right? So it is very important that you learn along with any skill that you are trying to learn, be it data related, be it front end, back end, or any uh, tech related job. You should understand and leverage the new age technologies and try to understand how I can leverage AI to make my job easier, right? And hence I can do much more. I can be much more productive as compared to a guy who does not know how to use ChatGPT for their own productivity purposes, right? So all the jobs will not go away in any field, right? It's just that chat gpt and everything will bring some amount of efficiency, right? And only the best people in those domains will survive. So it's very important that you gain all the right skills and keep on upskilling, right? So if you are a front end, learn back end, learn full stack, learn cloud, learn DevOps. If you are a data analyst and you go to the company and start, uh, just that, just keep doing that, then you'll saturate. Maybe your job will go away. But if you are a data analyst, learn data science, then learn what is machine learning engineers doing, learn data engineering, right? Then try to learn computer vision, NLP, try to become an AI researcher, try to become an AI engineer. So if you try to shoot for these things, right? If you are constantly learning even in your job, right? Then you are in a safe place. And if you want to, let's say, do a complete course and learn all the things related to data, then you can look for a complete package of a course, learn all of that, and then go to the industry. You will see quick promotions. You'll feel much more smoother in your uh, career, right? So your career will be much more smoother, right? So um, so, for example, you might have checked out our master's degree programs, wherein we cover this entire pipeline, right? So, this entire thing we cover there. So that way you can learn all the skills, and uh, then try to start your career, let's say as a data analyst or a data scientist. Okay. Or you can do a smaller course and just try to get into a data analyst, data scientist role, and then upskill your way towards becoming uh, or coming into these kind of roles. I would suggest that if you already have some level of tech experience, some level of relevant experience, right, and some comfortable and if you're comfortable around coding even a bit, you should try to learn these technologies as soon as possible. You should not delay into learning these technologies if you already have some bit of experience. If you are starting afresh, go for these kind of roles and try to learn them as soon as possible, right? Yes, so data analyst freshers, as I already mentioned, Python, SQL, Excel, Tableau, and some bit of case studies around how do you tackle business case studies. That is also important, right? So SQL and Excel is a tool, but you should know how to use that tool for a specific purpose, right? So uh, okay. Great. So let me try to answer some of the questions that you guys have posted before we go into answering some or giving you some tips and tricks as to how you should uh, move ahead and how you should look at your career if you're starting up. Okay, so I think this question is answered. So, what are the skills required for data analyst? Already mentioned, right? So, Python, SQL, Excel, Tableau. These are the skills that would be required, along with some practice around business case studies. Right? Um, Data analyst fresher job. How can we search, right? So, data analyst fresher jobs. There are many places that you can search. You can visit AlmaBetter job board. Uh, there are new jobs being posted every day, right? Which includes fresher jobs, experienced professionals jobs, data analyst, data scientist, ML engineer. All kind of jobs are being posted on an everyday basis. So check out the AlmaBetter jobs section, and you can also check out some other job portals if you want. Yeah. So Mradul has a question, right? I want Mradul to So he has a question: why are we not getting calls from recruiters uh, even after having demanded skills? That's a great question, right? I think many of you people have might have done some courses on YouTube or anywhere else, and trying to build a CV and trying to apply for jobs. So the main problem that you will face in terms of especially in fresher jobs is that you are yet not aware how to draft your resume. What is the technique that recruiters are using to select your resume, select your profile? What is the kind of visibility and profile building that is required? So these are the things mainly which, so these are the skills that freshers kind of miss out, and hence they think that I have learned all the skills. Why is the recruiter not calling me? I just saw that there are 2 lakh plus jobs in data analyst freshers. Then I applied to this recruiter. I have been applying for 100 plus companies. No one is calling me. So there is an appropriate interview and a job hunting process, right? That we cover in our programs, right? So if you do not understand what the recruiters essentially want, right? If you're just skilling yourself and saying that okay, I'm not getting a job, that is not a good comparison, because recruiters generally look for many other things when they are shortlisting. Mind you, recruiters are not technical folks. They do not understand data analysis. Okay. So they use some softwares to review applications and shortlist candidates. So they do some level of portfolio check before giving the candidates a call. And hence it is very important that you understand all of those techniques before doing your job hunting journey. Just learning the skills will not be enough. So even if you get shortlisted, right? So from a shortlisting point of view, I think one of the very important criterias that recruiters are looking today is to look at whether you have a formal certification from a reputed institute or not, right? Because many people are studying SQL or these kind of videos from YouTube, and then they are writing that I have all of these skills. So recruiters get much more applications. Just think about it. Uh, recruiters also want to not waste their own time, right? They want people who have some bit of formal learning, who have gone through some bit of learning, and have been certified from a reputed institute, let's say an IIT or a reputed data science institute, right? So that they can essentially shortlist the students in a quicker manner. Because today, if you just look at the number of applications that come for a job, one job application, job posting, it's very huge, right? So even if you apply without any credentials, it's very hard to get shortlisted. And then even if you get shortlisted, if you have not done mock interviews, if you do not have real interview experience, right, if you have not prepared well for interviews, then also you'll hit a roadblock even after shortlisting. So these are the two areas wherein you have to be very sure that your shortlisting is better, your interviews you are able to crack, only then you'll be able to get a job. And this is all after you have learned all the skills. So learning skills, building a solid resume based on project certification from a premium institute, and then the third level is preparing through mock interviews. So this is a three-step process towards getting a job. So if you do just learn skills and think that recruiters will come and take me from my home, that will not work, right? So these three things, you have to be solid in all of these three, not just one. Python, okay. Power BI, yeah, Power BI is also one of the skills that is required, right? And it's also covered in one of our courses. So if you look at our data science course, so we cover all of these, uh, Power BI, Excel, Tableau, SQL, Python, everything. Yeah, so Jadan has a question. I'm from non-IT field. Can I switch my career to data science? So as I mentioned, right, does not matter. So if you're coming from a non-IT field, you cannot land a job in the field of data science in the very first as your entry level thing. You should start your career as a data analyst, and then once you have 1+ years of experience as a data analyst, you'll get calls from recruiters every day saying that, okay, why don't you come here, if you just mention that I have learned data science and all of that in your resume, etc., right? So from a non-IT field, you should target entry level roles, right? And hence you should not think that I cannot switch. You cannot switch if you directly want to become, let's say, if you're doing, let's say, uh, you are a content writer, and then you want to directly become AI engineer, and you want to start operating on Tesla vehicles, and you want to do computer vision and all of that. So that will not happen. You say that I was a content writer, now I want to directly you know uh, write code for chat gpt, right, and work in OpenAI. That will not be possible. There is a journey, right? So first try to become a data analyst, try to switch there. That is very much possible. So at AlmaBetter, as you can see, there are a lot of people who come from non-tech backgrounds, and all of them have made a good career. In fact, taking some example from my first batch that I remember, I'll tell you, since this class is more about growth and high growth tech careers, right? I'll give you some example. So there was a student called Rajesh in my first batch. Um, he was working in some company or the other, right, and at very less pay. And then he quit that job, started preparing for UPSC, wasted 4 years there. Okay, gap years, no background, nothing. Joins AlmaBetter, and then at that point of time, he got a job offer of around. So he was a bit lucky that he got a role of a data scientist in the very first go itself, but he got a job of around 49 LPA, coming from a non-IT background, coming with gap years, then doing this course and getting that opportunity. Of course, this is a rare case, but just wanted to say that this is not impossible. We are seeing that every month there are people from non-IT backgrounds with gap years getting placed in the roles of data analyst. Some people are also getting placed in the field of data scientist. not at those at that high packages, but you can expect definitely a decent enough package for entry level roles. Like, you can expect somewhere in the range of our average CTC is around 8.3 LPA, right? You can expect a range of around 5 to 9 LPA in terms of your job, right? If you are coming from non-IT background, and then you are spending sufficient time to learn all the skills. There is saturation of data analysts and data scientists. So right now it seems like it, because there because the market is a bit down, but that is just an illusion. There more and more data analysts and business analysts, data scientists will be required in the coming times. It's just that because the market is slow at this point of time, it will remain slow for the first half of 2024 as well, right? So this part is very important, right? So many of you might be panicking because a lot of layoffs are happening, and then companies are facing a lot of problems in terms of funding, and people are not hiring folks. TCS is not hiring, Infosys is not hiring many people. So you might be worried too much that what is happening, right? Because you are seeing this cycle most probably for the first time. But markets up and down is a very normal thing, and it's a part of the cycle, right? We will see this in every 8 years, right? Every 8 to 10 years you will see a up cycle and a low cycle. When the markets are lower, we call, you might have heard the term recession, right? So we are right now not exactly in recession, but the markets are at a very low range, right? India is doing a bit well, but if you look at the global markets, right, they're not doing very good, right? And that's why, um, what does Infosys do? Infosys builds software for US based companies, right? Now US based companies do not have money to build software right now, right, at this point of time. So they will not hire TCS folks, right? And hence TCS is not hiring this year, right? So you have to understand the logic behind this, rather than just looking at कि ये हो गया वो हो गया तो फिर क्या करना है, right? So just know that cycles come and go, right? Probably in the second half of 2024 is when your cycles will start to improve, right? And then you'll see a boom in the number of jobs that are planned. So people will say that I'm going to hire 5,000 folks in the next year and all of that. Once the funding kind of pours in, cycle kind of improves, you will see a much larger intake of people, right? And hence you should not worry about how many jobs are there right now versus what will be there. Because if you start today, this is January, right? If you start learning today, it will take you at least 8 9 months to be job ready, right? 6 months of learning skills, 1 month of, let's say, portfolio building and preparing and optimizing your portfolio, 1 month of mock interviews, etc. So it will take you 8 9 months if you go into any career field. Even if you prepare for full stack developer or data analyst, data scientist, it will take you 8 9 months from now, right? So if you start today, you will probably have all the skills and you will be best time to hit the market, right? When the jobs are there. Okay. Right now there is some problem with the jobs not being there and all of that, but this will not continue for lifetime, right? Markets come and go and this will improve. So if you talk to a 80-year-old person who has seen tech cycles, who has seen a whole lot of up and down cycles, he will explain that I have seen many of these cycles, right? And for many of you, you might be seeing this cycle for the first time, right, after you have gained cognizance, right? And that's why it becomes very worrisome for freshers who have just graduated out of college, that okay, jobs hi nahi hai and all of that. So don't worry, markets will improve. Start learning the skills so that you have all the skills when the markets are open. If you do not learn the skills today thinking that okay, अभी तो jobs नहीं है, अभी तो ये हो रहा है वो हो रहा है, then when the jobs actually open, that time you will not have the skills, and all the people who are preparing right now, they will get those jobs, right? So you should understand that you have to time the market very well. If not 6 months down the line, definitely the markets will open up in 9 months from here, because the cycles This cycle started way back in 2023. In fact, during 2022 itself, we started seeing the signals, right? And now it's been almost 1.5 year, and another 6 months is expected, right? So a cycle will not remain for a very long time, right? So there is always a correction that happens, and hence you will always see that jobs will come in, right? So bigger question is, are you ready at that point of time when the jobs start pouring in, right? Also, just know that people talk about 5,000 jobs, 1 million jobs, 2 million jobs. Just know that jobs are still there today. Also, jobs are there, right? And you just need one job. You do not need 1 million jobs for yourself, right? Just know that you need only one job for yourself. You do not have to, collect all these jobs and, put it in your cupboard. You just need only one job, right? At a time. So just focus on yourself, right? And try to beat the best of people, right? Put as much effort as you can, right, on yourself. Learn all the skills. If you think that you are better than the person who is actually doing a data analyst jobs, no one can stop you. If you follow the right processes, if you have the right guidance, the right mentors, right, you will definitely get that job. And that is why AlmaBetter students are succeeding, wherein people who are learning from random sources, not getting mentorship, they are struggling at this point of time. And still AlmaBetter students are getting placed. If the markets were right, we would have uh, uh, we would not have as many students to place, right? If the markets were right, right? This happened when we started in 2021, around 2022. There were much more requests that were coming in from recruiters, and we did not have any students. We did not have many students back then, right? Right now, students are getting placed. We are, intaking same number of students into AlmaX. They are getting placed every month, and the process is very smooth today. But definitely we will have much more job roles coming in the next 6.5 months. It's very important that people do not panic during downtime, right? So in a stock market, you will see that people who have made money through stock markets, they have invested during these times when the market was low. If they thought that, okay, market is going down now, everything will go to zero, they would never have invested, right? And those are the people who actually gained wealth from the stock markets, who is invested in the lower market, right? And the same applies to you as an individual as well. If you invest during the low times, if you invest in yourself, if you invest in your upskilling, you work hard, you will definitely come out as a better person with a great job once the markets kind of improve. But if you do not prepare at this point of time, when the markets open up, all the people who are preparing at this point of time, they will get those jobs. Then again, you will cry saying that I was, now the jobs are there, I have learned a whole lot of things, now I'm not getting. So be prepared once the jobs come in, be prepared to grab those jobs. And even in today's market, if you are prepared already, then also you can get a job. If you just look at the AlmaBetter job board, there are multiple jobs being posted every day. On a daily basis, I think 100 plus new jobs are being posted in the AlmaBetter job board, right? So now, so you cannot make a excuse that jobs are not there, so I'll not learn this. These are all excuses, right? People who think that I can work hard enough that I can beat any of the person who are already working today, you will definitely get a job. There is no question there. Working in the accounts domain from 5 years and BCom graduated, am I applicable for this data analyst job? Will it create any problem? So, because I don't think there will be any problem. We have multiple people who have gap years, who come from non-tech, non-science backgrounds, who have worked, who have, enrolled with us, learned the skills and gotten jobs. See, one of the things that we help people in doing is that we have a network of around 700 plus hiring partners. So now these network of hiring partners have hired from us in the past, and they know the quality of students that we train and produce, right? and hence they are vouching on us as AlmaBetter to supply skilled folks. So they are relying on us that okay, you have taken this student, that means that student has learned a whole lot of skills, right? So that is the factor that is working out, and hence they do not give much importance to what you have done in the past and all of that, and what background you come from. As long as you are able to do their job, you will definitely get that job. As long as you are able to clear the interviews, pass the course, and all of that, right? Okay. Now, so I'm an Alma Beta student, completed Python, SQL, Tableau, Power BI. How can I join an internship? Just apply for internships. Or there are many portals, Let's Intern, Internshala. In fact, in Alma Beta job board also, you will have multiple internships that are being posted every day. So just try to apply from there. Although I don't know why you want an internship wherein you can complete the entire course and come into the job preparation program and then get a job directly, right? Worked in an organization as a I have worked in an organization as a data analyst, but they didn't provide me any kind of salary slips or certificates. What is the best possibility for me to get a job as a data science professional? I think in this case you should definitely, Animesh, uh, you should definitely think of doing a complete full-fledged masters and getting into a full core data science role because your profile suits that course, right? Although the master's degree in AI course is the applications we have closed for now, but it is opening up for the cohort that is going to start in February. You should definitely try to join that master's degree program and get a good job for yourself. You should target not less than around 15-20 LPA after you complete that course. So your profile, since you already have experience as a data analyst, right? Salary slips and certificates, these don't bother about all of this. If you have already worked as a data analyst, you should try to get into a full-fledged AI engineer, NLP engineer, or a data scientist role. So try to take up the master's degree program. Details will be shared by Pratiksha towards the end. So that is something that you should try out. You have a very good profile. Yeah, okay. Uh, if you are already in the data science and analytics program, then it's fine. But you should definitely try out for the master's degree program if you want to directly get a job in data science or AI field directly, right? Now there are more questions in this tab. Let me take these up. 6 years of teaching experience. Can I go to IT? Definitely. Um, okay. Okay, thank you. Worked in okay. EC graduation people can follow. Yeah, data analyst is better if you do not have any background. Um, Worked okay. Which course do you suggest for non-tech professionals? For non-tech professionals, you can choose either one of the courses: full stack web development or data analyst or data scientist science. Um, See, if as I already mentioned, right, there are much more higher number of jobs in, let's say, front end, back end roles, and hence you should definitely go forward for the web development course if you do not have any back end background, right? If you just want to increase your chances of getting a job as quickly as possible, right? But just know that even if you go for a data analyst role, that is still fine. Hmm. Okay, now moving towards. Web development, which course you suggest for non-tech professionals from AlmaBetter for data science career? You can go ahead for web development course, Sushri. Okay. Does AlmaBetter apply in jobs, any jobs on our behalf? We share your profiles with our hiring partners if you come to our AlmaX program. So essentially, in a way, yes, we apply for jobs on your behalf. That's correct. But we just share your resume with our hiring partners once the resume is built by our team. So, मेरे friends, hmm. So Suvendu has a question. Will it be wise for product management professionals with 6 years of experience to switch to data science? That's a great question. So, just trying to throw some light on PM profiles. So, PMs generally, look at the entire life cycle of building the product. Now, most of the products are being powered by AI, right? And as a PM professional, also you will have to look at AI backed or AI enabled products, right? You might have seen previously that in PM roles, people who had background from software kind of got more priority or more packages or more, they were more considered more able to do product management roles, right? Now, if you look at what's happening today, right? So now everything is AI enabled. So software is now getting replaced by AI, right? So AI has become that accessible, right? So now, if you again have a background in data science or machine learning, that definitely helps you in terms of being better at your job. But if you want to switch your PM role towards a data scientist or a computer vision NLP engineer kind of a role, of course, it will take you some bit of a hassle in terms of learning programming and etc. But definitely, you can make that switch in terms of salaries. If I want to throw some light on it, if you have 6 years of work experience, I'm assuming that you are earning somewhere in the range of 40 LPA already, right? And if you look at the salaries that you will be getting, so PM roles will stop. So after this, you're just two roles away from the maximum that you can reach, which is director of product, right? And that at max will pay you somewhere around 70 LPA at max, right? This I'm taking on the higher side. If you switch to data science, what happens, right? Computer vision engineer, so there a good advantage or perks of having or building career in data is that sitting in India, you can earn, uh, you can work for global companies, right? For in remote jobs. So there are computer vision engineer jobs which are remote in nature, which pay even at 1 CR packages, right? Very easily. Of course, that path is not easy. You have to traverse another 2 3 years from now to get into that position. But you can definitely expect a higher limit in terms of your career growth, in terms of your CTC package, right? If you go via the data science road, right? And I have seen people generally do an MBA, join product management, then they write PRDs, and then they are just hustling with engineers to make them work, make them more productive, trying to clear bottlenecks in the project, etc. But uh, from a work satisfaction point of view, some people do like PM roles, but many of the people switch from PM roles to definite from PM to tech, definitely, right? uh, that we are definitely seeing after all of this AI um, thing is taking pace, right? Many of the PMs are shifting towards AI roles for sure, just to maintain that career growth. So in a role of a PM, your saturation will definitely come very soon. Okay. But there is no saturation in terms of computer vision engineer, NLP engineer, and so on. In fact, NLP engineer is now becoming LLM engineer, large language models. And now we do not know what will the next big role, right? You can definitely say that LLM engineers who are working in companies in the Silicon Valley are definitely earning upwards of 1 or 2 crores for sure as a package. But that does not come easy. It has to go through this route only. You start somewhere, then you go on progressing. But the next big tech, whatever is going to come in AI, right? That will be the most highest paid role ever in the amongst all the roles that exist in tech, right? So in that manner, if you think in that manner, definitely people are switching from PM to data science, but you need to have that confidence that it will take me some time to learn coding and all of that, and then you will be doing some really cool work in, let's say, computer vision or NLP. Engineer working in government sector. After working there for more than 15 years, I want to make my profile in one specific field. Which will the best IT field to be, and can I do this shift? It will be hard for sure, Jagdeep, no doubt, but most probably I think uh, software related roles will be much more apt for you. Okay, I think most of the questions are answered. Akshay has a question. Should I go for a master's degree in data science and AI? I'm already a data analyst with 1+ years of experience, give or take. Definitely. So your profile is the most suitable profile for the master's degree. So if you have 1+ years of relevant experience, right? Our master's degree program will definitely help you land a core data science job directly. You do not have to go again to the master's degree and then work another year as a data analyst. No. So complete the master's degree and get a very good job and take that 100% 200% jump in your CTC. That is what you should be expecting. Also in our master's degree program, in the next cohort, um, some of us founders will be taking up that special cohort. In the master's degree program, there will be only a very limited number of seats, right? We'll have a strict selection process. So people like you can apply, right? So your profile suits the best. If you have a data analyst experience, if you have some kind of a software experience, you'll get much more preference to be in that cohort. Okay. So try to apply whenever the applications open, or if you can just connect with Vaishali and ask for the new batch that is coming up, and we'll be very selective in that batch, right, in the master's degree batch, because uh, that will be a strong cohort, and we want very good placement metrics. We will be targeting at least an average LP of 30 for this cohort, right? So that will be our goal for the February cohort of master's degree program, right? So would want to definitely see you and assess you and talk to you once before you enroll into that program. Non-IT domain, which course would be suitable? I think you should definitely go for the um, web development program, right? And even if you are going for the data science program, you should know that your entry level job will start from as a data analyst or a business analyst or a product analyst. Okay, I think I have answered most of the questions now. I have another session to take, and I have to meet some of the students at AlmaBetter. So I hope this session was helpful. There is one more thing that I wanted to mention, right? As tips and tricks, right? Um, Irrespective of the field that you start with, just know that programming is there in everywhere, right? So if you start with front end, If you start with web development, the first thing that you will learn is programming. Okay. Maybe the language will be different. You will be learning in JavaScript. If you go to the data science program, you will start with Python. No matter which course you take, right? So this is one of the mistakes that people do. They remain confused that which path should I take, right? And with all of this information, this has more job or this has more job or what should I do? They never start, right? So this is one of the very common mistakes that I see people doing, that they get confused with all the courses. Should I go to digital marketing? Should I go to this? Should I go to this? At least in tech, in the courses that we provide, right, there is some help that you should be trying to extract, which is programming is the first thing that you will learn in any course that you take, right? And once you have learned the fundamentals core of programming, if else loop, for loop, control flow, etc., these are common in all the languages. The concepts are common in all the languages. So even if you, let's say, at some point of time feel that okay, no, this career is not for me, I probably want to switch to the I am doing the web development thing. I want to switch to the data analyst thing, or I am doing the data analyst thing. I want to switch to the web development thing. If your programming basics are clear, right, your first 2 months are clear, right, it will be very easy for you to switch domains as well, right? As you are seeing, right? So today I am talking about that data scientist role. So if a person is already a backend developer, he will become a very good data scientist, and he does not have to take that path that okay, I will become a data analyst, then I will become a data scientist. If someone is a software developer, he has much advantage to become a data scientist directly. And hence, it is very important for you to not remain confused and just start, right? To pick up any course. Both of them have entry level jobs. Pick up any course and start. If you at any point of time, if you feel that okay, this course is something, the maybe I'm not fit for this, you can definitely switch to the other one because the programming basics remain the same, right? Will PM people get any edge over other candidates for DS job applications? Definitely, for sure, right? You have seen the end-to-end life cycle of products, right? In fact, there is much more transitions happening, right? So some data scientists, switch to PM roles. Some PM people, want to switch to AI roles. Transitions are happening every day, and I'm seeing that with my peers and colleagues that I see, right, who are already working in the industry. They are doing these kind of transitions. And definitely, if you have any kind of relevant experience, so you have worked in product, that means you know software, you know the software life cycle, etc., right? You will definitely get an edge as a data scientist. For you, I would suggest that you should take up the full-fledged master's degree because you have whole lot of experience already, 6+ years of experience. A formal degree in the field of data science will help you land a job in the field of data science directly. Otherwise, you'll have to take that same path of data analyst and then data scientist, etc., right? So skip that level. And since you have some relevant experience, you should definitely look forward to joining the master's degree program. At least apply for it and see if you are getting selected, right? So we'll assess you thoroughly. Your profile will be assessed, and basis your suitability, will look forward to having you in our Super 30 cohort. Okay. Great. I think I have answered all the questions. I hope this was helpful. All the best for your career. And if you have any further questions, please ask them to Pratiksha, and she will be able to answer all of that.
Hi, hi everyone. I hope the session was very informative. So let me show you the. I'm audible. I'm audible to everyone. Great, great, great. So let me share my screen, and will tell you step by step everything, and will answer your all queries at the end. So let me start with my introduction. So my name is Pratiksha and I'm handling a admissions part in AlmaBetter. Thank you everyone for your precious time and joining this session. So here in AlmaBetter, we provide two courses. One is data science program and other one is full stack web development program. And how the curriculum looks like. So I'm going to explain you step by step. So here you will going to study in a groups. That is the best part, even where you will interact with the other people who are from the IT background or from the non-IT background. And then you will do the projects in a team and even you will help each other as well. And then you will get ready for the job. We are there to help you, and our placement team is there to help you and guide you for each and every path. Then, so a lot of you have might having questions in your mind. Why only Alma Better? You need to join. So here, in very simple steps, I'm going to explain you. So in Alma Better, you can see like we are providing 100 plus live classes with lifetime access to recorded lectures. Even you will be having a curriculum which is covering all the basics to the advanced level. So if a person is coming from non-IT background to the IT background, so they will be having a deep knowledge in terms of basics that we are covering, the program that we are teaching, the assignments that we are providing. Everything is going to cover in this whole program. Then comes on our project part. We are providing 20 plus capstone projects along with 1,000 plus coding problems and assessment. So I am going to share you the student dashboard as well, how it look likes, and you will able to see, and I will answer all the queries at the end. Then you will be having a daily doubt solving sessions as well. So our trainers are available from morning 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday. So they are helping you in each and every way and will solve your problem one on one. And even we are providing one on one mentorship sessions as well. Coming on the next part, that is 50 plus mock interviews are there where we are guiding you for the resume building, for the LinkedIn profile. Everything is going to cover. Then you will be landing with your dream job where we are taking a 100% job guarantee program. Even we have 700 hiring partners on our platform. Then how our learning look likes. So where here we have a live lectures, you will be having projects and assignments, you will be having a group discussions as well. You will be We are providing one-on-one mentorship classes, you will be having guest lectures, and even you will be having a community participations. At the end, this is a mandatory for almics that we call a placement, where you will be working on capstone projects and there will be a test as well. Then these are our hiring partners where we have 700 hiring partners. Amazon is there. We have Tech Mahindra, Accenture, JP Morgan, KPMG. So these all are our hiring partners. Then the salary, that is the most important thing, and I hope most of you having a same questions. So here, as the Shivam already earlier explained you about the salary packages, that is what is the average package that Alma Better is providing. So you can see the scale that what we are providing, it is between 8 to 9 LPA. Then you can meet our instructors and mentors. Here we have the expertise. Here you can see their profiles. They are from coming with the 10 to 12 years of experience, even more than that. This is for the data science course, and other one is for the web development. Then we have successfully placed 3,000 plus students till now, and we have so many success stories where people take the transition in from non-technical background to the IT background. Let me go through you to the student's dashboard. I hope my screen is visible to all. So you can see this is the dashboard it looked like. So we have three programs. The first one is data science program, which has two category. One is premium, second one is IIT Guwahati certification, and the master's program that we have separately. So let's talk about one-on-one. Then it's a learning where you can see all the learning sessions. Here you will be getting all the learning things. This is how your learning look like. Next, coming on a classroom. Here you can see the schedule of your upcoming sessions and the session that has already been completed. Here you can see the recordings. So this recordings is available till lifetime. Then comes on a practice session. Can all of you see my screen? I'm really sorry. Let me explain again. So here, this is the dashboard, how it looks like. Then coming on the learning part. So here you can see all the reading material that we have. Then coming on a classroom, here you can see your live sessions. So all the sessions is purely live. It's 100% live sessions that we are providing. And in case if you missed any session, all the recording session will be available in the completed. So here you can see all the recordings which is available for the lifetime. So in case if you want to repeat, if you want to revise anything, so here you can see all the recordings. Then comes on a practice. So here you can see all the practice sessions. Coding assessment is there. Then we have quiz assessment as well. Then coming on a project, so we are covering 20 plus capstone projects and whole program. So here is the program where you can see these are the projects that we are covering. Then you can track your performance from here. Then coming on a mentorship, here we have one-on-one mentorship that where you can book the session with the expert and they will help you and guide you. Then this is the job board where you can apply for a job. Here you can fill the location of your preference. Then you can select any of this remote, hybrid, on-site. Then you can choose your domain and then you can search for the permanent or an internship. Here you can write it down your experience and the companies and accordingly you will search the job. So here you can see there are a lot of jobs that we have. Then is a refer and earn program. So refer and earn program, if you refer your friend, so you will get the prices over here. So if you refer 10 plus friends, you will be having this earbuds or an iPad. Then coming, this is how our dashboard look like. So let me stop my screen and now we'll start with our Q&A sessions. So you can write it down in the chat box. We'll try to answer all of them. So if anyone having any queries, you can please write it down in the chat box or in a Q&A session. So here I am dropping the email address and the phone number where you can take a personalized counseling session from us. So here we have our upcoming batch coming on a Friday. Even we are giving a discount as well on our price. So let me show you that what is that we are providing. So so this is our coupon code that you can apply directly on the website to avail the early bird discount. And that is only till valid till 24 hours. I'm going to place this coupon in the chat box as well. So here I got the question. I have seen the Wolf University on your website. Correct. So here we have the master's certification. So our team is going to reach out to you if you are interested or if you are looking for the master's program. I have shared your number. I have shared you my email address. You can just call me or drop me an email. Our team members will going to reach out to you. Yes, we have 6 month certification program with IIT Guwahati. So here, let me explain you that we have two type of the programs. One is premium program and other one is IIT Guwahati. So in premium program, you will get the AlmaBetter certification, and in the IIT program, you will be getting IIT Guwahati certification. Anyone, any other question? What is the difference between IIT Guwahati certification? So in IIT Guwahati certification, as like you will be having a added a brand value to your resume, and IIT Guwahati, everyone knows involved that what IIT is, so you will be getting an advantage. Secondly, that the certification, the lectures that you are getting, some lectures are with IIT faculty as well. So the experience, the knowledge that you are getting from IIT faculty, and apart from it, you will be having IIT certification added advantage to your profile. I hope Akshay I have answered your question. Okay, so we have pay after placement program. So it is like we are charging a little amount, you can say a registration amount and starting that we call course fee, and the remaining amount we charge once you get placed in the companies. So here, once you done with the 6 months of the journey, then will help you. You will enter in our placement drive where we are going to help you to land up with your job. So in 6 months journey, you will going to learn 6 modules in total, starting with like if you choose data science, if you choose any of the course, so you will be having 6 modules in 6 months. Then for plus 2 months, this will be the optional that is a specialization in which we are covering business communication classes, mock interviews, resume building, LinkedIn profile, everything is going to cover. And at the end, you will be having a placement where you will be having a, you can say, the mock interviews, and then you will be going for the final interview. So it's the initial amount that you have charged will be around. It's for the premium program we are charging 30,000, and for the IIT Guwahati certification we are charging 60,000 rupees. Sure. So let me show you the fees that we are charging, and we'll show you the certification as well for both the courses. So here we are charging 30,000 as a course fee for the premium program, and for the IIT certification you will be having 60,000 plus 18% GST. This is the dashboard that we are talking about. Here you can select any of the course. For example, it's so this is how your certification looks like. I hope everyone can see the certification now. Not visible. Just allow me a minute. Till then, you can post your questions in the chat box. We'll try to answer all of them. Can certification course. Yeah. So here, you can Akshay, you can do the certification course for the premium program as well, or you can go with the IIT Guwahati certification. If you go with the IIT Guwahati certification, there will be a better chance to have your you will land up with a higher package. If someone is previously experienced, okay, so if you're an experienced person as well, that gives you a better advantage if you choose IIT Guwahati certification. We will help you to land up with the top tier companies. And for the IIT Guwahati certification, that gives you more advantage if you are a working professional. Or you can choose our other program, that is the master's program, where you will be getting a certification from Wolf University. You can fill the form, and our team is going to reach out to you. For full stack data science program, we have the placement. We have same scenario for both the course, that is web development or a data science program. For data science program, the duration for the premium program or for the IIT Guwahati certification, it's 6 months. In 6 months, you're going to learn 6 modules in total, where we are covering everything from basic to the professional level. So let's talk about data science program. So in starting, we are going to cover about Python, then SQL is there, Power BI, Tableau, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So these are the six modules that we are covering in entire 6 months. Each module will contain 1 month. Then you will be having a thrice a week sessions that will be according the timings will be 8 to 10 p.m. It will be a late evening sessions, and you will be having capstone projects, like 20 plus capstone projects are included. You will be having one-on-one mentorship sessions, and if you have any doubt, you can have a one-on-one doubt solving sessions as well. So this is how your journey look like on in Alma Better. So about the classes, it's a late evening sessions. We have designed a course for the professionals, as we have a lot of people will not get time in the entire day. So we have a late evening sessions that starts with 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And in case if you missed any session, so you will be having a recording access till lifetime. Any other questions? So for the discount coupon, yes, it's MANG15. You can avail the early bird discount. Or you will get like our fees for the premium program, it's 30,000 plus 18% GST, and for the IIT Guwahati certification is 60,000 plus 18% GST, so it will be 7,800. I hope I have answered your all queries. You will be getting 15% discount, Praveen, on both the courses, either to choose premium, either to choose IIT Guwahati certification. Everyone, please fill the form. Our team is going to reach out to you, and we will be having a one-on-one discussion sessions with them. Even I have placed my number in the chat box, so even you guys can just reach me out on the same number. For the pay after placement program, we have different fees for the IIT Guwahati certification and for the premium program, Akshay. Here we are charging in starting. You have, if you choose premium program, then you have to pay 30,000 plus 18% GST, that is 35,400. And at the end, you have to pay once you get placed in the company. Then you need to sign a agreement with us where you need to pay 10,000 per month till 15 months. So it will be 1.5 for web development program and 2.4 for till 24 months, that is 10,000 per month till 24 months for data science program. I have dropped my number and the email address. You can reach me out on the same number, or you can email me on the same. Classes are not every day. Our classes will be held thrice a week, and on most of the Saturdays, you will be having discussions, you will be having quiz or a project evaluation. So, thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. I hope this session is very informative. You will getting a better idea about the course, and I have dropped my email address and the phone number. So You can reach us out for each and every query. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm going to share the WhatsApp group link as well in the chat box. You can get the updating any event or anything. You can just join that channel. So even you will get every information from there. Thank you everyone for joining this session. Thank you.